Unlike what was going on in the whole Elf Resurrection saga, the Spade War seems to be a lot more severe. It seems a lot heavier. It seems like there's a lot more intensity already going on. And even the first rule display, we got the members of the Dark Triad. Well, one of them, we got Zeno and two of his Dark Disciples, raiding the Golden Dawn base and killing half the members pretty much like upon entry. And I've seen some discussions over the last couple days that I think are actually really interesting because it's something that personally I never even really thought about, and that's whether or not Klaus would live. Because, going into this, I was thinking more about, and William, but Klaus as one of the first members of the Golden Dawn we really ever met, as well as one of the first people in the series that we ever really kind of see the truth behind, like Austin, and their low class and Austin's lack of magic. Didn't really determine who they were. And I always really liked Klaus for that. He was one of the first ones to really kind of switch over and, be taught, like, how bad he was for believing in that kind of stuff. But, as it were, like, people are wondering, like, whether or not he's going to die soon. And, in this whole little scuffle with Zeno and whatnot. I mean, it'd be very easy for Zeno to kill him if Zeno decided to kill him. But the question is, do I think personally that he will die? And I'm going to be really quick with this video and give my reasoning as to why I think the way I do. And I don't think he's going to die. And it's not because, it's a shonen or not a lot of named characters and, people of importance really die a whole lot in a lot of mainstream shonens. I mean, no, that's a thing. But, I mean, Klaus is in that position where he could die and it wouldn't really affect a lot of the story. I'm thinking more of in the long run, because when ends up, getting to the position of captain, the question is, who will be his vice captain? And personally, I think someone like Klaus, who, like I said, was one of the first people we ever saw get, really kind of revealed the truth that your class system, like, where you were born doesn't really determine how good you are at being a magic knight and whatnot. And just that dedication afterwards, that appreciation of both Austin, and just, becoming a much better person in general, I've always really liked. And I love the whole bit we got in the most recent chapter where he mentions how it always really got down on him of seeing people who are just naturally really talented, and he's like, I don't know if I could ever catch up to them. I don't know if I'll ever be able to compete. And that being one of the reasons he didn't like early on, being this peasant who was born with the four-leaf clover grimoire. He had all this hype up to him. And somebody like that, who was both not of, a special blood, well, we know he was, as a prince bloodline, but at the time he's, somebody who was a peasant having this amazing fortune of a grimoire, just imagine that. It's as absolutely, like, you're getting passed up by somebody who should be below you. It's got to be crushing to him, and at that point in time, and just seeing him overcome that, and since then he's just been working really hard. He's gotten influenced by both Asta and and I just think that's really cool, in that whole bit towards his character, and it'll really build up something like to look at when, like a couple years from now, Yuno's captain, and you have Klaus, hopefully he lives on and becomes vice captain. I'm just saying, even if he's not got a lot of spotlight time, he's got a fair journey, like, alongside him. And it'll be really cool to see him stand beside, and knowing, where he came from, at the start of the series, looking down on Aston, and where he's at now, like, loyal and dedicated. That's going to be really nice. And I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm hoping he doesn't die. Like I said, I wanted to keep this video short just because I wanted to get a little point across, because it's not like there's a lot of foreshadowing to this, but it is something that I wanted to talk about, just because I wanted to express the idea of why I don't want him to die, and why I think it's important that he lives on for when ends up becoming a captain position. Because again, we don't know if will take over the Golden Dawn when he becomes captain, or he will end up making his own. It seems like when you become captain, that really depends. But it'd be really cool if he made his own Knight Order, and then he appointed his vice captain to be Klaus. I would be really happy about that. But anyway, other than that, I'd really appreciate if you'd comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this, and tell me whether or not you agree with me on Klaus living or dying. I mean, do you think that he's deserving of that vice captain spot alongside after where he's come from and what he's learned and where he's at now? And on that, I really appreciate you thumbs up the video, from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But that, I appreciate everyone's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.